Welcome to Big Blue Banter. I'm McGregor Powell.
And I'm Ali Chetzenok.
The women's SEC tournament started Wednesday, and Kentucky beat the Georgia Bulldogs.
With Kentucky finding success late in the year once again, Kyra Elsie, who has had her fair shares of struggles in the regular season, finds more magic in March, extending her record to 8-2 in the SEC tournament. Now let's send it over to our reporter Colton Johnson, who was on site in Greenville to witness that Cat's convincing victory.
Hey Wildcats, I'm Colton Johnson, and I am on site for the Women's SEC Tournament in Greenville, South Carolina. I'm inside the Bon Secours Wellness Arena, where Kentucky women's basketball just took down the Georgia Bulldogs by a score of 64-50. This was a matchup that saw Georgia win the first bout back in February, so Kentucky had plenty to improve on, and it got much worse. Coming into it, Kentucky announced that star Maddie Shearer would not be playing due to being in concussion protocol that will not only keep her out of this game, but the entire tournament. But nonetheless, coming into this matchup with Georgia, they needed someone to step up, and somebody did. And Nia Russell, by way of her own, had 19 points, led the Wildcats to the victory. She was followed by Asia Petty, who had 11 points and 14 rebounds. She led the Wildcats on the board, but the boards were the story. Kentucky out-rebounded to Georgia by almost 20 in dominating fashion. And after the match, Coach Elsie highlighted how important those boards really were.
Well, yeah, I'm proud of this team overall. We went into the game talking about we had to bring our defense and rebounding. Defensive intensity was extremely important. The first game, we let 4 players go above their average, so we talked about that pregame along with the rebounds, 43-23, and so we just set a goal of 60 or less.
After the game, Coach Elsie was also quick to give Brooklyn Miles her flowers. She loved how she controlled the game and said that the way that she controlled the pace was pivotal. Brooklyn highlighted that. We talked to her after the game about how important it was for her to control the speed of the game and how it translated into the victory.
Yeah, we knew that we were going to have to control the pace, especially when we were up kind of bigger toward the end and we needed to hold the ball a little longer. We just knew that we could control the pace, and that's what we needed to do.
Now, what does this win mean for the Wildcats? It's pretty simple. It keeps their season alive for at least one more game. Brooklyn Miles is a recent transfer from the University of Tennessee. She played the last 2 years of her collegiate career there. And ironically, that is who the Wildcats will face tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. The first matchup with the Wildcats and the Volunteers saw the Volunteers come out on top after the Wildcats blew a 17-point lead that they took into halftime. They'll be looking at a much different outcome. And until then, I'm Colton Johnson of Big Blue Banter. I want to take y'all back in the studio.
Thanks, Colton. Well, we have an update on the Tennessee-Kentucky game. Tennessee is up 48-42 right now. Ali, where does this team go from here?
You know, with the win today, they'll play Alabama in the quarterfinals tomorrow, the 4th-seeded Crimson Tide that they lost to by 20-plus earlier this season.
Pretty bad.
And, you know, with a loss, who knows, they might be on the new search for a new head coach. Well, Wildcats, that's all for us at Big Blue Banter. Hope you enjoyed and tune in next week for more fun sports news.